Alright, so we took a little break, we're back, and what we want to do is actually go through our social media. You're going to go through Instagram or YouTube?
I'm going to go through my YouTube comments.
YouTube comments, and I'll go through my Instagram. And we'll see what you guys have asked, and yeah, I really hope this helps. So the question is, how do you begin the process of signing up for the Navy? Kind of, I don't want to say simple, but you can go online to the Navy's official website, and you put in your area code, and you'll get a number to a recruiter. You call them up, make an appointment, and that's where they sit down with you and get the process started. And you have to go through a Navy recruiter. Of course, you do have to do a lot of research beforehand. Like, let's say, do you want to go enlisted? Do you want to go an officer? Know that off the bat. Yeah, pretty much. That's one of the questions I got asked. Do you have any questions?
So people ask me all the time, they're like, will I get to move off base as a seaman or as an E4, or when do I get to move off base in the Navy? So let's start if you're single. If you're single, this depends on command now, because I know a lot of E3s that got to move off of base when I was in Bahrain, but only because we had, the barracks were full, so they didn't have room for anybody. Now in Bahrain, they're pulling people back, so this is a case by case. Usually, if you're a qualified E4 with over 4 years, you can request to move out town, and then the Navy will approve your BAH through your command and whatnot. But usually as an E5, probably about 85 or 90% of commands, right when you hit E5 and get paid for it, they will just they will turn on your BAH. And of course you have to bring them a lease that you sign and tell them where you're living and everything, but that's when they'll turn your BAH on.
So it's been pretty good for you? With,
yes, it has very, yeah.
I know you're not too far from base?
I'm not. I live like maybe 30 minutes from base.
Okay. Yeah. And okay, another question, and this might be a little bit personal, but I do get questions about getting married in the military. Do you see yourself getting married, or would you like to have a lifestyle that is a military lifestyle while being married? That's
another reason why right now I don't plan to do 20, because I don't want to be leaving my wife for long periods of time. Now I know there's lots of people out there that do this, and I'm not critiquing you or anything for it, and I'm just saying I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to go through it, especially if I have kids and whatnot.
Because you'll be gone for a lot of their life.
Yes, I've already missed too many weddings, too many birthdays and stuff. I don't want to miss any more of it. So I get a lot of questions about this. What is PACT, or what is UNDES, or what is PACT seaman, or whatever. I know you get a lot of questions about this too, but let me give you a brief outline. So I have a video interviewing a PACT seaman on my channel if you want to check it out. But to sum it up, PACT seaman is pretty much the bottom of the totem pole, and that can be a bad thing or that can be a good thing, because you don't really have a rate, so you can be working with lots of different rates, and you learn lots of things about the Navy. You will primarily be on a ship as a PACT seaman, fireman, or airman, and it's one of the positives is you can learn a lot. One of the negatives is you won't be able to rank up and get paid until you actually strike for a rate and you have gone to that A school and are rated.
And that takes a long time for some people.
Yes, 2 years at least.
Yep, 2 years.
I also get asked this question a lot too, and I'm not going to burst any bubbles. This is probably a good thing actually. So age to join the military. I know a lot of people that join are between ages probably about 18 to 21, and that's just a general age, because that's a time in their life where they had to make a decision if they want to join the military or go to college, But there is nothing wrong with joining the military at an older age. People, 30, 35 years old, there's nothing wrong with going to the military. Okay, age is literally just a number. I'm not just saying this, it may sound cliche, but I think it's great. If you want to do it, then do it. There's nobody that should be persuading you but yourself. Okay, so
no, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah, I've known a couple older people that they do say, why didn't I do it younger? But what they wanted was to do it. It was their dream, so they fulfilled it.
I'm a big advocate. If you want to do something in this life, you go for it. Okay, because literally you're just gonna get older, and so I say
no regrets.
Go for it 100%. Don't let anybody make the final say in your decision. Background story. I like throwing these background stories, but a guy named Baldwin. He was 45. He came in. He did 20-something years in the San Antonio Police Department. Great guy. I love the guy. I hope you're doing good, Baldwin, if you see this. He came in the Navy, went into boot camp, went through MA school, and then he was automatically advanced to MA1 directly after A school. Now, he went back to the reserves, but he had so much experience in law enforcement that the Navy wavered him into an MA1. So
I've never heard a story like that. That's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah.
And like if you would have not taken the chance.
Yep.
So a question here, well, not really a question, but they said pros and cons about enlisting in the Navy. So let's just throw them out there right now.
Okay, so let's structure it like this.
Okay.
You want to do 4 pros and 4 cons, or 2 pros and 2 cons?
Okay, let's do 4 pros. 4 pros.
Okay, so you will say a pro, I will say a pro, and then let's do it like that.
Okay.
We can kind of bounce off each other.
Okay.
So you first.
I'll start with the pro?
Yeah.
You get to leave home. You get to travel.
That was really simple. Yeah, travel. I agree with that. Okay, number 2, the pro is kind of to hit on that. You get to explore different ethnicities. You get to meet different people, and you get to just learn about their cultures.
Another pro, you will get paid for the whole 5 years that you're in. Every 2 weeks.
Stability. 4, number 4 is the Navy takes care of you. Okay, the Navy takes care of you. Now, some may disagree. Some may have a different story.
Yeah.
I know you kind of have a little background story, but the Navy takes care of you. Yeah. So they make sure you have money for food, money for housing. Make sure you have a place to stay, and
for a lot of people, that's a lot of pros right there.
Yeah, it is, and yeah, they just they care about you. You always have access to a chaplain, literally basically like a psychiatrist you can talk to, or your medical's covered. So benefits. Summarize that into benefits. All
right, cons. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Yep.
Don't get us wrong. There are a lot. Okay, so talking earlier about it. So schedule, and I'll say at least for me, I was working nights. So when we would go to a different country, I would have to pull every single time an all-nighter for the next day, so I can actually go out and enjoy my time. So that was my big one. That was mine.
So another con is the Navy is always mission first. And I completely understand that. Now, the way this will affect you is if you have some people sick or off work, if you don't have the manning or the manpower to do something else, you will have to work extra hours. I've pulled maybe 18, 19, maybe even 20 hours literally of work. And when it boils down to the mission is first, and the Navy will always put the mission first. And this can really take a toll on you most times.
Because it's 24/7, 365.
Yep.
Really.
Yep.
You've got to suck it up. That's what it comes down. You have to suck it up.
Yep.
Okay, more cons. Let's go. More cons.
Yeah, I'm ready for these cons.
Cons, yeah. It's because I usually don't talk about the cons, and I centralize it around just kind of like the good that has come out of this decision.
Yeah.
But cons, I want to tell everyone about them. What's another one? So you're gonna miss out on a lot of events. Like I know you just said that, but birthdays. Weddings. I missed my dad's wedding. Yeah. What else? So he got remarried. I missed my sister's being born. What else? You have another?
Yeah. So just to hit on what he said, you are going to miss things. Whether it's weddings, birthdays, graduations, you are going to miss them because it's impossible for you to go home each time that one of these life events happens. Okay, my con is, let's see here. So, chain of command structure. You don't really have a say in who's over you. Now, you may love your leading petty officers or your petty officers or your chiefs, and you may dislike them very, very much. Some of them are, I don't know, they seem like they shouldn't be in a leadership position. And you're gonna face this a lot. And usually there's nothing you can do about it. Like for one of my stories, I was barred from base one time.
You were what?
I was barred from base, so I couldn't drive on base.
Oh, okay.
And it was because the chief thought that I was talking back to him, which in all reality, I would never do that, honestly. And just his one opinion got me barred where I couldn't drive on base for 45 days, and I just completely disagreed with that. But there's nothing I could do because he was E7 and I was a little E4. You want to keep going with the cons? We've done 4 of them.
So we're gonna keep on going with the cons because this is, like I said, something I don't really talk about, the cons. At least on deployment, the food. I don't know if you had that problem. Let's say you like to eat a certain way, or maybe if you're picky, like there's only a couple options, and then we do run out of food, so you're stuck with fried foods. Nothing really nutritious, just kind of filler. So I know I had a big deal with the food.
So I think it's comes from your background too, because I do agree a lot of people have problems with the food on deployment. A lot's like, trust me, I've heard it. And I personally did not have a problem with the food because I wasn't used to eating like that back home. I wasn't used to having pretty much access or a pick of food, what I wanted. So I got on deployment and I was like, oh shoot, I was like, I'm not paying for this food. It's all free. So, the MAs we would eat 4 or 5 times. I was trying to gain weight and get swole on the ship. So I was always doubling down on the chicken breast and the rice and vegetables. And so food wasn't a problem for me on deployment.
Okay.
Now I will say it gets annoying saying those lines.
That's another part to it.
It's horrible. The lines are horrible.
How long are they? Oh, that's very super long. Like the wait. How long is the wait?
Okay, so the galleys are a deck down, and so the galleys are like in the middle of the ship, and sometimes the line will be all the way up into the hangar bay, and you would just see the line and you just be like, oh, fuck, because it was so. Can I cuss on this channel?
I usually don't. But.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, you can cut that part out. But you're like, oh god, like you see the line and it just gets so annoying because you're hungry and you're trying to eat now.
For me, like I always remember, you have to like walk outside, and then there's jets in the hangar bay, so like you're kind of like going under them, and you're like you're in line waiting like this for the next person to move up. So that's a con.
Yeah, con for me on the ship. I'm 6'3.5" on a good day.
Oh, okay.
I would constantly hit my head, and it was so annoying. Be like, dong, and it hurt horribly. I was bleeding a few times.
And in your rack, how was that?
My rack. Okay, this is a true story. The pads of my feet, the bottom of my feet, were constantly sore on deployment because the way I laid, my feet didn't have enough room to like stretch out. So they were like this, laying up against a flat surface, my rack, every day, and I would wake up, my feet would be hurting. But as far as bumping my head, I didn't bump my head too much.
What about another con? Since we're talking about that, privacy.
Yeah. Okay. I'm kind of like open. I'm just like whatever. I'm like, just don't stare at my genitals.
Oh yeah. No, I meant just like the only privacy we have is our curtains.
Yeah.
So like, it's just like kind of annoying. Like you won't be able to get away from anybody just to like have your me time. So
it's pretty much impossible to get away from people on deployment.
That which is another con.
Yeah. And that little blue curtain, and it's really thin. You can see people getting dressed and whatnot, but
hey, you just gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
Alright, so if you made it this far, I hope you learned a lot of information. Definitely check him out on YouTube channel, Instagram.
I just want to say, hey, thanks for checking out this video. You're a pretty cool dude. I mean, I've known you for about 45 minutes now, but I like this guy. He's pretty easy to talk to. So yeah, I have a few Navy videos. If you want to check them out, my channel is Austen Alexander, kind of like Jane Austen, not Austin, Texas. And find me on Instagram, just type in Austen. I'm sure I'll pop up there somewhere. Feel free to ask me some questions if you want, and yeah, just know that I'm here. So thanks for watching this video.
Alright guys, until next video, take care.
See ya.
Bye.